Hey guys, Ron here, and over the last year we designed gym leaders, we made some champions, we even turned Pokemon into humans, but now it's time to create antagonists and their ace Pokemon. They could be totally irredeemable villains like Ghetsis, or sympathetic anti-heroes like N, as long as they are the main challenge that our protagonists must face. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this series, check out the previous Fakemon videos if you haven't, and peep the description for the links to these amazing artists. Joining us today are the fan favorites, Pointy Hat, ReomaArt, and Subjectively. Some heavy hitters today. Perhaps the key to their amazing art is today's sponsor, Milanote. Milanote is the perfect tool for organizing any creative project you're developing. It's the online canvas that'll help you plan, brainstorm, and even collaborate with others on. Ever since I was first sponsored by Milanote earlier this year, I've actually used Milanote for every single video I made on this channel. It's definitely a contender for the best sponsor in this channel's history. You need to check it out if you want to create anything your heart desires. Use it to make various boards and subboards to organize your references. Just drag and drop from anywhere you find your images, all while adding notes, arrows, charts, videos, audio, links, and more. You can even draw on top of your board so that every idea is made more clear. Milanote has 100 built-in templates for any type of project you're dealing with, and it's free, with no time limit. So sign up right now for a free Milanote account using the link in the description below. And because the partnership between TrueGreen7 and Milanote is so strong, you'll see my guest and I use it to showcase the art and images we used as inspiration in Milanote reference segments throughout the video. So I guess let's begin with my antagonist.
Go for it.
Do it, you coward.
Wait, oh yeah, we didn't even talk about what we're doing here today. Just to make sure, we all made antagonists, right?
Wait,
what? This is antagonists?
No!
They're doing villains? What?
No, you made really nice people.
Okay, wait, give me like 15 more minutes.
I made ants that are going east. I thought that was the problem. Sorry.
Here's what I did. In order to understand the antagonist, though, you have to understand the protagonist, because usually, you want an antagonist to be a foil to the protagonist. You want it to be. So I had to make some protagonists, so that took some time.
Oh my gosh.
Gemma and Niall.
Oh.
Gemma and Niall. Oh my god, that top is so cute. I love the little Pokeball flowers. That is such a cute idea.
Are they British? I feel like every British guy is called Niall or Cullum.
Niall is very British.
Well, I'm hearing Gemini.
They are twins. They are twins.
Aha.
Gemini. Oh wow.
I've never seen anyone with the name Niall spelled like this before.
That's actually when I googled Niall, that's the most common spelling apparently. But if that's wrong, then
okay.
I'll kill
That's
myself.
how the river is spelled. So yeah.
Oh, that's not how the river is.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you pick one of them, but the other person exists in the game as your twin. Protagonists have a certain look. I have to make sure that they look like other protagonists. But what's cool in the game is that, just like I guess Generation 3 and Generation 6 and some others, the one that you don't choose is actually a character in the game, and they are your sibling. You go off on a journey at the same time, and they basically become your rival, which makes sense. Here's the problem, though. They touched upon it in Generation 8, where the rival can become envious or jealous of you, as you beat them pretty much every time you battle. That would be pretty interesting if your sibling became pretty insecure about the fact that you constantly beat them, despite the fact that you guys started off at the same level. You guys are literally twins. How could they be losing every single time? So slowly, your sibling becomes a little envious and starts to derail to the point where they become the antagonist. Here is them in the end game.
Awesome.
They're baddies, literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
What if the protagonist became bad?
Hard.
Oh, I love this idea.
And they both become bad in different ways. So Niall, he retreats. He becomes more reserved, more like obsessive and compulsive, I guess, about everything that he does because of constantly losing to you. And he's trying to desperately become way better to the point where he'll basically sabotage your journey. While Gemma is the opposite. She'll become more angry, more expressive, way more superficial, and more will lash out at you way more. So she becomes, one becomes basically an incel, basically.
I'm gonna say he's got the duster for it.
The other becomes whatever the opposite of that is.
One is addicted to TikTok and one is addicted to Reddit.
Yeah.
Redditor versus TikToker.
TikTok and 4chan most. Actually, I'm thinking that their grunts could be their following online. So Gemma is like almost like an e-celeb and popular with some very toxic people on a site like TikTok.
Yeah.
While Niall is popular on like an anonymous forum.
Yeah.
So he has like these grunts that are anonymous and extreme. And that'll affect their battle style. Obviously, we have to make a Pokemon for them. And what's cool is that in order to show just how bad they are, their final team, which you will see, is doesn't have their starter. They discard their starter. That's how much they want to beat
sacrilege.
you. It's also because I didn't want to not have to make 3 starters, even though.
Interesting.
Oh my god. Even though I just made 3 starters, that's why I just made 1 Pokemon who's basically the equivalent of like Lucario or Zoroark of that region.
Awesome.
The cool one.
Yeah, that.
The cool one for boys.
Reverogue.
Hey,
Reverogue.
Whoa. I love him, actually. I would use this one.
Very cool. I'm loving this style run.
Thank you. It's more close to the kind of style I like to draw.
Ground type.
He is the dream Pokemon. He's basically has the ability to put others to sleep. I thought, hey, if Lucario was Aura and Zoroark was like illusions, then what would be like a third one, or like even a mixture of both technically would be, I guess, dreams.
Yeah.
So that's what he does. He's the master of dreams. These two have such a big goal, which is to literally defeat the protagonist. They have this huge will and they have these huge goals and dreams, and this guy can make them see that. Like, that's how desperate they are. They at least want to see their goals and dreams being achieved, at least in their dreams.
Whoa.
Because they can't sleep. They're so obsessed.
Oh, interesting. So they're so discontent with their own life that they can only find solace in their dreams.
Exactly.
And they need these dreams to be induced by a Pokemon, otherwise they'll never fall asleep.
How dark.
Super dark,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah. But like
It's kind of heavy, yeah.
when you like finally like that moment where like your sibling finally breaks down and they finally like open up to you and tell you how insecure they are and like how much they hate you, I would totally cry. And like the moment I would realize that's why they have a Reverogue.
I wouldn't, because I'm tough.
Yeah, that's intense. I was thinking about asking each person individually if they think that their villain is going to have a redemption by the end of the game. Like, do these people deserve a redemption,
Exactly.
or is the end of the game for them just like, well, sucks to sucks, he shouldn't have been such a jerk?
This one feels like yes, right? Well,
It would be pretty messed up if like you wouldn't help your sibling and you wouldn't
Yeah,
patch
I hope
things up.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like there will be a redemption. I assume they help you, defeat the legendary or whatever. Or
Yeah.
maybe they summon, just like Kieran, I guess, in DLCs.
Excellent.
You basically have a rival who is responsible for a legendary going crazy and berserk and has to help you and stop that legendary. So something like that would make sense.
It reminds me of the insufferable little boy from Sword and Shield.
Oh, Bede.
Hey.
No,
the other one. Oh, you
Yeah.
have. Okay.
Before you say anything, I am Hop's #1 fan.
Oh, I'm so sorry. In that one, they fixed it by giving him another goal. Like, it
Exactly.
was like, oh, I'm gonna do this other thing instead. That might be a way to like a different thing to focus on.
You know how in the post game of almost every Pokemon game, you can rebattle like a rival?
Yeah.
So it would be this thing where they just realize you just train together all the time. You promise that you will come and battle them every day and actually train them and help them get stronger. They have to accept that one of them is going to be #1. At least they should be #2, And because you love each other, you should be happy for the other one at least achieving that goal. And you never know. Again, this could be a game where they can challenge you to the championship, just like in Sun and Moon. You guys just go back and forth being champion. you keep on beating each other and like, oh, now he's the champion. Oh, now I'm the champion.
Oh, and then you're like the
Yeah.
twin champions of whatever region this is.
Here's their team, by the way. What's the theme of this team?
Awesome.
They're very angry. They're very, very angry.
Yeah.
They're very angry.
And then Mimikyu.
And envious. Well, and Mimikyu wishes
angry
he was wishes he was Pikachu.
Yeah, it's
Yes, Mimikyu is so perfect for this.
It's I
love
I
that.
I've ever seen that Paldean Taurus art before.
I love all
yeah,
that.
these are all like the Dream World, I
Sweet.
guess, art. And if you look like Niall has his burnt, torn up jacket, and Gemma has like a bandage covering up a wound, because these are basically the effects of their training with what are very dangerous Pokemon. It looks like a team that like an endgame boss or champion would have. So hopefully that would.
Absolutely, yeah.
I like the Paldean representation. I think that like Pokemon had this problem for a long time where like you will see a silhouette of a person and you would not be able to tell where clothing starts and skin ends. Like silhouette wise was really rough. You're already way past that.
Thanks. I am worried. Like
They have a physicality.
I was worried that like they're too like normal looking in terms of like they're wearing normal clothes, but like you have to. At
I
least
feel
have
that way
Pokeballs.
about the Legend ZA guys, and everyone loves them. So you know what I mean? Like I
True,
think like these.
I guess so.
Yeah, these look less normal than Legend ZA guys.
It's a compliment. Because like I do love the Legends EA guys. And now it's time for the Milanote reference segment.
Everyone's favorite part. The Milano
Everyone's
reference segment.
The thing you all came here for.
We got Gemma was inspired by like I guess this preppy look that I just found. I looked at like a bunch of different looks that like a teenager would have. I thought this was just like the most stylish while not being like too try-hardy, I guess. Like,
I hear you.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
as high fashion as a teenager can go without being like high fashion.
Yeah, it's a little considered. It's not just like this is what the popular kids are wearing. It's like I have my own aesthetic, and I like clothes that can help convey that to other people.
She's going for a specific vibe.
And I needed like a jacket, or in this case a cardigan that she has, because I wanted it to like open up as she becomes more erratic and open, basically, which is the opposite of what Niall goes through. So Niall, obviously, he adds more layers, he covers up, gets longer clothes as he reverts. I did, I guess, the traditional like blue is for boys and pink is for girls. I guess I did the opposite of that. But it's like, it really showcases that like how like that colors really aren't masculine or feminine, because like you can have a feminine blue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just about the way that they're marketed, really, is the only thing that genders them.
And then the Pokemon's basically inspired by the Sandman, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what if there was...
That's why it's ground. I'm very smart.
Literally. So we have a fox, we have a jackal. I'm like, what would be the third canine? I guess coyote.
Hold on. Zoom in. Bottom left. What's that?
That is just a play about the Sandman.
Interesting.
I love this.
Send me everything
love
about it.
It's basically takes inspiration from the Sandman, where like you have a pointy hat.
Wow. Do you?
He has a what? Say that again.
Oh, it took him so long to get it.
I thought I said like a slur or something. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Not in a way.
Oh, I get everything now. But yeah, it's a pointy hat, but also it's like the moon. It's a crescent moon, and it's like the ear holes are like stars, I guess. So it turns out in like the original like writings by Hans Christian Andersen of the Sandman, I guess he has a cloak that like changes colors. So I guess I interpreted that as like he has a cloak that is like a nebula. That has like a galaxy pattern.
I really like the gradient there. I think that a little subtle gradient in a Pokemon design is like part of the accent.
Exactly.
It's always so juicy. I love that.
I really like the guy. I really like the Pokemon. I'm never a fan of like the Lucario's like cool stuff for cool boys. But this one really does it for me.
And of course, the coyote, I guess, has like similar inspirations in like Native American culture.
The trickster.
Cool.
Very cool.
And the necklaces they wear are like friendship necklaces that they discard once they become evil. So, okay, that took a little longer than expected. I mean, it is 4 characters, if you think about it.
Why don't you brag about it a little bit, Ron?
Yeah,
Okay,
go on.
It took me a long time to draw these, and I'm very proud of them.
You should be. They look great.
Look at this guy with his self-confidence over here.
Get out of here.
We need more self-deprecation in artists these days.
We don't want your kind round here.
Hey, what?
What? What does that mean?
Hold on a second.
Green people?
That's just deprecation.
Speaking of self-deprecation, Ryoma.
Okay, right, yeah, sure. Okay, Pokemon needs a Sephiroth.
Interesting.
But more specifically, it needs a Luis Guillaburn.
Whoa.
I'm here.
Agreed. Good job.
I'm here to spread the Metaphor Fantasio agenda. I'm here to tell you all about it because it is one of my favorite games ever. But this guy, Luis, definitely represents kind of an archetype.
Oh, if you're going to show us, then I guess it's time for the Milanote reference section. Oh, segment. I don't know, whatever.
Relatively kind of feminine man. Lots of more feminine features. A motif of white in varying amounts. They have obviously a tragic backstory.
You have a lot of references. Sheesh.
Yeah, there's some lovely stuff. Really, really, really pretty. This will be a useful board in the future as well, I reckon.
I will say Milanote is really fun because it's actually fun to use.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun to put stuff on the board.
No, it looks fantastic.
It's literally what I've been asking for like years. You would do that. If I wanted a board, I would just do it on Photoshop, and it just takes time, and it's annoying.
They're relatively kind of maniacal, almost insane, and they
Long
have
sword.
biblical parallels. Yeah, a sword. That's big. My guy doesn't have a sword, I'm afraid. I've failed you there, but yeah.
Damn.
Biblical parallels and like a transhumanist kind of vibe for their like final boss, but we'll get to that. Lusamine, I would say, is the closest because of course you've got her Ultra Beast like transformation, which is like very kind of transhumanist and sort of like, you know, alien transformation. She's not super biblical. I mean, you could definitely make the argument. Volo is a very good contender for it.
Definitely the most biblical.
Definitely the most pretty boy.
Cyrus in some ways.
Feminine pretty boy. You're right.
Did I stutter?
Baby girl.
Is Melly, who is the most feminine man. Anyway,
Yeah.
this character I'm gonna show is kind of doesn't fit Pokemon. It's kind of more for like a Final Fantasy like classic JRPG game. But I wanted to kind of meet a middle ground.
Hey!
Whoa!
Hey!
He's kind of fantasy.
I love black and white design so much.
Little gold accents go a long way with that.
What's the little apple guy?
His name is Beast Marshal Fion. That's his title. I want to make him as anime as I could possibly go with. A lot of his outfit is black, but I still kept the white hair. It's often used for like characters with this kind of fate, I suppose, like Daenerys or like Edelgard from Fire Emblem, things like that.
Mad Queens?
Exactly. I wanted to get the snake motif. I think I played it up quite significantly. You can see it around his boots
We see it.
and on his
Wait, where?
What? Really? I didn't notice.
I initially came up with the idea to do it with the hair, and I was like, oh, that's so fun. And then I didn't know what to do with the armor, so I was like, more snakes. The little guy in the cage.
I've never been more excited.
Frufall.
Oh my god.
Whoa. Ooh. This peel is a snake.
So cute.
Oh.
This is the coolest one.
Mayhaps.
It's the forbidden fruit. I'm an idiot.
I'm glad you caught it early, because it would be very helpful going forward with like the rest of this. I was showing some other people and no one really got that. But yeah, it's the forbidden fruit. Paradise Lost is the parallel here.
Got it.
Wait, explain that to the viewers just in case, like in 2 sentences.
No, why don't you explain it, Ron?
Yeah, you explain it, Ron. You do it.
No, it's your thing. I command you.
No, because he's for the viewers. I was like, yeah. Let's sing.
No, Satan.
I
I mean, it's basically just a poem about Adam and Eve and how Satan became Satan.
Well,
That sounds
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, he eated a fruit, but he is less of a team leader and more of like a military admin and weapons dealer. So his main like outlook on life is that he believes that Pokemon are kind of like forces of destruction. They're symbols of power.
Jesus.
And he kind of feels I told you this is anime. This is Final Fantasy. He kind of feels powerless in like relation to them, and he wants to kind of claim dominion over them. This Pokemon's Serpentine Rind has gained a mind of its own, eating away at Frufall's core until it is frail. It struggles to fly in its new form, but it need not escape from predators as the peel fights to keep the fruit all to itself.
That's crazy.
Aww.
Studies show that they have a latent inner power that could easily overpower their binding rind. Despite this, Frufall resist little against their fate, seeming resigned and dispirited.
This is a depressing episode.
Yeah, well, it's going to get more depressing, because now I am going to tell you about the next important part of the Sephiroth characters, and that is their tragic backstory. So I'll try and make this as brief as possible. As a child, he lived in a little town in an orchard called Opuntia Town, and he lived with his partner Pokemon, and that partner Pokemon is Fruku. It's pre-evolution.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's a good ability. I like that ability.
But then, oh my god, did he eat the Pokemon? What?
He ate the Pokemon.
So this town, it was kind of out of the way of society, so they were fairly oblivious to kind of conflicts on the outside. It wasn't until it came knocking on their doors. A hulking Pokemon shadowed by the cover of night. Little baby Fion could only see its blackened horns and tattered wings in the dim glow of the destructive dragon pulses. It pillaged his village very precisely, almost robotically, and his mother urged him towards the woods with Fruku in tow, but he could hear the beast behind him. As the trees grew more raveled, Fion clambered to escape under the arching roots, desperately scraping at sanctuary, and he turned into a nook beneath the roots. The beast scratched and scraped to get inside, but just as he thought he was safe, the glowing maw of the beast glowed with a readying blast. Charged with infinity energy, Fion braced, shivering for his complete annihilation. But in the way stood little Fruku, who tanked the blast and saved his trainer.
Oh, you thought he ate him.
It hit the beast back in its face and it scampered off. And some of the blast did hit Fion, that's why he's got that scar on his neck, but he's relatively unscathed. But after that, little Fruku became fruitful, hollow, and like weathered, and the infinity energy kind of caused it to evolve but also get weaker at the same time. You can see its HP stat goes down,
Yeah.
and it took Fion 2 days to return back to Opuntia town. Only because he couldn't recognize it among the other flattened patch of mud between the trees. But he took one thing from this experience. The creature was a weapon.
Jesus.
A part in a plan orchestrated by faraway sovereigns in their ivory towers that Fion couldn't possibly have tried to comprehend. And all he took away was that they are tools of war, all Pokemon. So that is his kind of MO. Pokemon are kind of evil. And he uses them as weapons. This is his team.
They're weapons.
Weapons.
They're weapons.
Wait, but what
They're
weapons?
all weapons. So
You got a scythe, you got a gun, you got another gun, you got another scythe, an axe, and you got a
Jet fighter.
Jet fighter. That's what
Jet
it's
fighters.
yeah,
Stealth
they're all
bomber.
Stealth bomber. Yeah.
relatively like military. Absol definitely fits a little bit less, but it is a scythe, and also, but honestly, it just fits his vibe. Like, don't you think?
Oh yeah,
Color
100%.
scheme wise, very much.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be his Pokemon.
Yeah.
You can
So,
throw an
yeah.
apple as a weapon.
An apple a day.
absolutely.
A weapon against doctors.
Oh, true.
There you go.
Fruitful is, out of the ones that I've been in, probably my favorite. I think it's the
actually very
most
good.
inventive. It's the most inventive Pokemon design.
Kind of building onto it a little bit, the idea of its pre-evolution, both designs working together as a narrative rather than just like a monster getting bigger or getting stronger, like usually evolution in Pokemon, an increase in power. So, but I really like how this design is not sacrificing narrative for the sake of looking stronger. In fact, it looks almost weaker.
And I like the rendering on your villain too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was. That one took a really long time to figure out. The story continues. I will get onto that. So, kind of, he's in charge of this military, right? So you would like go through all his admins and stuff, getting to the top of this military conquest against the region, and it would get pretty far. You'd be like facing him at kind of the apex of his like rule, but eventually you'd meet him as the Beast Marshal. That's his official title.
And he has a shrimp.
Yeah.
Hey, Clowitzer's awesome.
Not much of a beast though.
Clowitzer is awesome.
He's a beast, but not like a beast.
I
you
would
know?
say he's a beast. You do battle, of course, and you kind of go through this Pokemon. They're all weapons, but then you get to Fruitful, and it's very clear that he doesn't see it as a weapon. It's like the one Pokemon that he still kind of holds on to that like old belief system. So I wanted to kind of humanize him in that way.
That's a good way.
And he's still got Fruitful caged, and you reach out your hand to see if he can reclaim who he was as a child, and he goes to break open this cage and release it, but then he goes Fruitful Solar Beam and sends it into battle as yet another weapon in his arsenal, causing it to evolve once again
Oh my god.
into Fruciphon.
Whoa.
Oh my god, what?
Oh shit.
Obviously, I didn't want to say Lucifer in the title of the Pokemon, but
Number
this
666.
is yes, number 666. Yes, this is Lucifer as a Pokemon basically. So he started out as a fruit. He was eaten by the snake, and now you can see the snake is devouring him. And he's got these big horns, and he's very demonic. And his wings are tattered. He's lost his flying type. He's a fallen angel. And yeah,
Oh wow, that's smart.
Angle.
Wow, the typing makes a lot of sense.
I'm glad you didn't say it should be dark, because I was thinking about making it dark, but I don't know, something about dragon.
That's a good idea. No, it's good that's not dark, because the point is that the Pokemon is not evil. They're just being used by a bad guy.
When this Pokemon evolves after being turned into his final weapon, he stops and truly breaks, because he's realized that this Pokemon was the same one,
Yeah.
the same species that attacked his village in the first place.
Oh, that's a good way to traumatize him.
Yeah,
And he's like, what have I done?
Shit.
exactly.
Damn.
That is a cool way to resolve it.
That is a good way.
Yeah, obviously, the final piece of the Sephiroth mold is the transhumanist transformation. He goes completely insane. He's kind of realized his own weakness. He does manage to escape away from the battle. He kind of beats you with his newly powerful Frusiphon because it's so strong. Maybe in a cutscene or something. And when you next meet him, he's set his sights on the strongest Pokemon of all, Arceus, because of course you have to fight God at the end of any good JRPG. He's reaching to the heavens as Lucifer does as a fallen angel, and he becomes the Siphon Seraphim.
Oh my god!
Wait.
Oh, wow.
The golden apples from the tree. Oh, that's so cool.
He becomes the tree. Okay, but
Wow.
how does this happen?
Just from pure anime will. Uses with this Pokemon.
The power of friendship.
Through the
Yes.
power of a 2-minute cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I like the idea that he eats it. He takes a bite.
Whoa.
And he takes
Nibbles
a bite
on
of
that
Frusiphon.
tail there.
It's a very metaphor
exactly,
design.
The fruit on the tip.
You think you're done. You think you've beat him. You beat his last Pokemon. You beat Frusiphon. And then there's a cutscene where he's on his knees next to his fainted Pokemon, and it looks like he's going to put his hand on it to be I'm sorry, and then he just starts eating chunks out of it.
Insane.
And then
Yes.
maybe too dark for a Pokemon game.
horrifying.
But
But that's
Do it.
brilliant. That's brilliant.
Do it.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, no, this is a proper tough JRPG final boss. You have to be
Damn.
really prepared for it. I did do a little kind of Yggdrasil Jormungandr type thing, devouring
True.
the roots of the tree type thing was kind of the idea with the big freaky creature.
It's very Kefka Tower, too.
For the Naruto fans, this invokes the Ten Tails, which is also a tree.
I didn't know there was even a 10-tail.
Oh,
I don't care
10
about
Tails. I thought it was a silly name. God. 10 Tails. Well, there's a girl called Tenten in it. So
There
that's
is
not-
Tenten.
That's fine. Yeah. She's the 10 Tails, by the way. Spoilers.
Oh!
Yeah, this looks sick. It looks a lot like Kefka Tower to me. Also, the end of 6, where you're climbing up the tower to reach Kefka. It gives us
Yes.
those vibes. You have taken us from a very Pokemon start to an absolutely not Pokemon end, but each step along the way felt conclusive. It didn't feel at one point you jumped the shark. It's just little by little, it became more of your own thing with a Pokemon flair to it. I would love to see more into this hybrid art style.
I don't know which route I'd rather this go, but the fruits that are now coming out of this tree, either that becomes the pre-evolved form, or a really good held item, like a Master Ball level held item.
Oh yeah, that could be cool.
Whoa, yeah.
And obviously the ability kind of ties into those growing new berries, because when it consumes the berry, it gets a crazy boost. It's kind of consuming the fruit from the tree of knowledge. Gives you a boost. That's my guy.
Sorry, I had to cough, and I've been holding it for the whole presentation. I was move on.
Hit the road, Jack.
All right.
Or the opposite of that.
So the good news is, I don't have nearly as much as anyone who has presented so far, so I hopefully will be shorter. I also think it's really funny that I'm going to be going after what is basically fighting God in a JRPG, because my villain might be the opposite of that. I think when I first got this challenge, I was tempted to do something like that, because it's fun. It's fun to create something that's so over the top and biblical looking and religious looking, and I like to do things like that, but I kind of wanted to challenge myself to design something that isn't so on the nose and apparently evil. So I just recently decided I got back into designing Fakemon again, and I have this joke region that I'm turning into a real region, and it's generally inspired by New England, and it's mostly kind of silly and just me having fun with designing Fakemon
You mean
again.
better England?
Yes, the good England.
Actually good.
England 2.0. No more kings. Oops. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
how's that working out for you guys?
I was thinking about, instead of going the Lusamine angle, which I do love, think about villains that are a little bit more pedestrian. And think about themes in real life that I find to be the most villainous. My favorite villains from Pokemon have good redemptions. So I was thinking about what kind of villain would have fun redemption.
I love redemption.
And what in real life, is a story about someone who is portrayed as a bad guy, that is later redeemed. Potentially has the potential to be redeemed. Here, let's say you're a new trainer in the Haba region, and you've started off on your journey and you've defeated your first gym. And you're feeling good, you're feeling confident, you're feeling excited. Then your Rotom phone starts buzzing, and you get this weird message. You get confronted by this person who is hacked onto your phone, and they are communicating with you through what feels like a pre-recorded message, maybe something that they've already sent to someone else. And they're just trash talking you. They're just making fun of the way you battled. They're making fun of how long it took you to get to that town, to get to that gym. They're making fun of your team. They're making fun of the moves, everything.
Well, that's not very nice.
Very not nice behavior. This person keeps coming back. And every time you feel like you've accomplished something, you get another message from this person and they shoot you down. And not only that, but they have grunts out in the open world that you're encountering that are getting in your way, physically stopping you from progressing as you go. So this character is known only on the internet as the Dark Crescent. And no one really knows exactly who they are, but they've been harassing people nonstop. Now, there's some more lore. Just about a year or so before you started off on your journey in the Haba region to become a Pokemon Master, there was controversy in the Pokemon League where a young trainer was the youngest and the quickest to ever go through every single gym leader and the Elite Four, beat the champion in record time.
He was cheating.
And it later came out that not only was the moves that he was using on his Pokemon were moves that these Pokemon were not supposed to be able to learn. They had abilities that they were not supposed to be able to learn. But the Pokemon might not even have been his Pokemon. And that some other trainers had trained them, and that he had taken them and used them to beat the Elite Four.
That is an interesting... Yeah, how come we've never seen that?
And so that person got stripped of their title as champion. They got all of their gym badges revoked, and they were never heard from again. And now you're starting to think that there might be some connection. And it's not until you make it all the way to the end of your journey that you encounter the Dark Crescent in person. And it is, in fact, Thad, the same trainer who had been caught cheating in the Elite Four and the Haba region Pokemon League.
The Pumpkin Eater.
the liar pants on fire.
Wow.
This is just a young kid who, after doing something that he really does regret, decided to lean into the villainy of it and make life harder for everyone else by harassing them remotely, trying to get them to give up on their goal to become a Pokemon Master.
Oh!
The thing about this villain is that he hypes himself up, his friends hype him up, his followers hype him up, but he's not a god. He's not like an arch-villain. He doesn't really have anything at his disposal that would make him particularly scary or frightening. He's kind of just a kid who has some internet clout and a bad reputation, and he sort of rolls with it. I think I'll leave it open to whether or not he gets redeemed. People think I'm a liar. Do I lean into it, or do I try to acknowledge their criticisms and become a better person? It really feels funny going after the God Apple. But
to be fair, unfortunately, 4Artists has had power creep. And this is basically what 4Artist videos usually. This is what we're supposed to do.
I know. I realized that. I was like, oh, the last few times I've done this, it's been getting more and more. And I also designed his hoodie to kind of have like an Absol thing going on, because Absol is cool and edgy, and what teenage kid in the Pokemon world wouldn't think Absol is awesome? And that's why he's the Dark Crescent, because he thinks Absol is really cool. But it's not his ace Pokemon.
Do you have a Greedent?
No. Oh, that would have been good.
Look at his hair.
No, we'll see his team. Yeah, he doesn't really take care of himself very much. But no, his ace Pokemon is obviously a new Pokemon you've never seen before, and it reflects how his real power is kind of just being a nuisance. He's not really a major threat. He's kind of just something that you wish you could ignore, but it's always there, buzzing in your ear. His partner Pokemon is Grizzlich.
Hey, this guy's annoying.
Oh, so cool.
A nasty Pokemon known for being irritating more than anything else. Not a particularly strong Pokemon. Not so much a Pokemon that will crush its opponents, but rather whittles them down. But it also kind of has a style to it. It kind of has this sort of punk aesthetic going on where it thinks itself pretty cool. And it shares that with Thad. The rest of his team is both a reflection of who he is as a trainer, and who he is as a person. Like, what is like a really annoying team if you're like playing competitively, but also like what are Pokemon that like a young kid would just think are cool. Specifically the Shedinja, I was thinking about like it has Wonder Guard, but it also is like for some reason not being affected by super effective moves, and that's part of how he was able to win. And you know, there's some suspiciousness going on there, and it's just he's just got like abusable Pokemon.
Yeah, like Boom Burst is very annoying.
Yeah, Toxtricity just kind of resonated with his vibe.
Toxtricity, very cool to see my favorite Pokemon here. I just love how you've managed to contextualize a more like real world, like competitive Pokemon issue into the like game world. Like I know Velisify would hate this.
I was gonna mention it.
The Pokemon, super cool. It reminds me of do you guys remember when before Sword and Shield had any Pokemon revealed after the starters, there was like this fake 3D leak that this
like the coconut, not coconut, like the fly, like the peanut fly.
Yeah, with like the big long like
pieces
like that, but with an actual concept.
Yes. Oh, and wow. I had actually forgotten about that, but yes.
Because you haven't been on a 4-artist episode in a long time, just seeing your art style again was very nostalgic for me.
Oh, that's sweet.
And like I felt like Fuzzy when I saw this, even though it's like the most annoying Pokemon ever. Is this like a mosquito or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So
yeah, definitely very mosquito.
It's funny how if this was real, then all of the mosquito Pokemon are very like haughty and like not humble, which is like the opposite of what a mosquito should be, because like mosquitoes are the worst animals of all.
This is a Pokemon that has a reputation as being a nuisance, but thinks of itself very highly. But also knows that people don't like it and is okay with that.
That's fun.
And that's sort of Thad's personality. But I wanted to sort of express in his pose and in his face that he's sort of tired. Like, he doesn't want to be this villain. He feels like he has to be. But he's sort of at the point where he wants to give it up a little bit, and he keeps the fake smile because the only way he can feel strong is by making other people feel angry.
What if Wolfie and Velisify were fused?
I think like one of the strengths of these type of narratives is when they don't chicken out and they're like, yeah, actually he wasn't cheating. No, he was cheating, and it's okay because sometimes people make mistakes. It's a very American mentality of like, you have a character that is like, if a character does something wrong, it has to be revealed that it was never their fault. No, I like that it's a story about like, this child did a bad thing, and that's okay. You know what I mean? And then he can get better through that. But I like the idea of him starting out from that sort of like, well, my only recourse is to be a villain, so I'm gonna be a villain now. I was watching a video on chess of all things, where like, this was basically the story of a pro player that was basically caught cheating, but not 100%, but everyone agrees that he was cheating. So it reminded me a lot of that. Yeah, me too. By Sarah's that.
Yeah, I was very inspired by stories about like cheaters from like speedrunning scenes and stuff.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Usually they're very young people, and you know, this is the first time they've done something that they regret, and that is being addressed by a public. And you know, a lot of the time it's people who are adults that really lace into these kids. And I think a lot of the time, because they're so young and because this is the community that they look for to teach them how to behave in the real world, they kind of just embrace their faults and never learn from it, never move on.
You see them, like, they get caught and then they write like, ha ha ha, you caught me, like what they understand as a villain monologue, and it's fascinating to see. Where like, you can truly tell that they're like sitting down being like, okay, how does a bad guy talk? And they will write that, and you can tell like, oh, you're 16.
Yep. Ideally, I would like to have the plot resolve where he can accept that he did something wrong and then move on from it and not do anything like that again.
What a good message, like today's sponsored Milanote reference segment.
A lot of the reference images that you have for your Milano board with trainer characters that are like younger trainer characters, including the player characters, I had a lot of that.
Even outside of the sponsorship, I'm just very interested in knowing why you decided with like that, the shapes in the hair, like those specific shapes.
That was the first thing that I pictured, was this kid that takes off his hood and he has like so much hair underneath there that you're like, how did that fit underneath that hood? And that's just kind of like having fun with the silliness of Pokemon and the non-rules of a cartoon environment like this. That is part of him that is genuine, and maybe something about himself that he wishes that he could change. He wishes he could have the motivation to just cut his hair one morning, but it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it keeps getting messier and more tangled, and he doesn't do anything about it.
Ooh.
Partially wants
What
to.
if he had dialogue in the game, like talking about his hair, but the hair is a metaphor for his life, where he had to like slowly things just became tangled, and he was in a web of lies and like in a web of his persona that he can't get out of now.
I mean, that is exactly what I was thinking. You know, that's why I don't have a ton of references, because it was more about the concept and tying that into his general themes. Originally, it was even crazier, where he kind of looked. Androgyny was also a thing where like I had no idea what the gender of the character was until the very end, where I was just like, it doesn't really super matter all that much.
If Pointy Hat also has an androgynous character, technically we all did androgyny because I did also both genders. so that's the lesson. Non-binary people are the villains.
You heard it first, folks.
I've learned so much in today's episode.
MB's in the comments, give us your villain name. And the top right, that would be his like post-game pose and look, maybe, because hair's actually nice.
Perhaps.
So flowing, so beautiful.
Sick.
Real cool.
Thank you.
Actually, the opposite. No, he's not supposed to be cool.
Not
Real
cool.
Not
uncool.
cool.
He's
Ew.
lame.
Loser.
By Shane
Sucks.
Dawson.
Bully him.
And finally, we have Pointy Hat.
I hate going last.
You don't have a choice.
Okay. I'm gonna make it real fast, because there's a lot to get through. So, my game is just Paldea Legends. I was just disappointed that the new Legends game doesn't take place in the past, because I like the past.
Yeah.
In my delicate little mind, in this fantasy world of imagination, I'm gonna make that happen for Paldea. So that's my pitch for this game, and for this villain is I think that there's so much in there with the history professor that like she tells you about Paldean history that could make for a fun game. So this is sort of like Terrapagos is the one that brings you into the past. We know it can do that. We know it can do time stuff because we have all played the DLC until the end, and you do see a very weird scene that very much, not implies, just tells you that it can do something with time. Terrapagos, for some reason, grabs the protagonist, is like, we gotta go to the past. Back to the past.
We're about to see Conquistador Nimona.
You go to the past, and you actually, I really like the idea of like the professor, the history professor, Miss Rayford, who was a Blizz one, being with you. She kind of like hitches a ride because she's kind of like a loose cannon. She's like, yeah, child, go find these evil Pokemon of ruin.
Miss Frizzle-ass teacher.
Yeah, she's not a great teacher, but she's a cool teacher. I really like the vibe of this Legends one to be about like, people can't find out that you're from the past. I like the idea of it not like being more of a covert operation. I feel like that's more like kids like that better. It's more of an enticing story hook to be like, you can't be found out. You get to Paldea, but you don't get to like dinosaur Paldea. No, you get to like medieval Paldea. And if you pay too much attention to this game for children, you know that Paldea was before like a bunch of kingdoms, and they were unified by a one king. And then that one king sort of like later on started the era of exploration, where he sent like so many people into that crater to find out what was at the bottom of that crater. That's the game you're playing. You're playing the era of exploration of Paldea.
That is good.
Sent over there, right? Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, that's really nice.
You get there, you're with Miss Rayford. She's cool. She's also like way too down with you putting yourself in danger, but that's okay. You basically are told when you get there like what's happening, and that the king right now is in one of the many exploration missions he likes to go in. Apparently he's kind of like a loose cannon, but he should be back soon, and he is. He looks familiar because he might be the ancestor to someone we already know.
Oh, yes!
This is King Sagittario.
Okay,
the
yeah,
ninth.
we did it. All androgynous. That's crazy.
It's very androgynous. That's why I was like, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I just put some sketches in there because I was like, oh, I need to fill up some space, but don't worry, I'll fill it up with something else later. This is King Sagittario. He's kind of like a loose cannon kind of vibe, and not like crazy, but he's very loose cannon. He's very like, I'm off to the crater in the middle of my region that I
And
just
it's
unified.
It's a secret. Shush.
Yeah, I'm glad that you picked that up. We'll see what that means. But yeah, you cannot meet with him, and he's like, oh, you want to go down there? Prove it. Prove that you're good enough. And you fight him, but rather you fight his jester, who he always has by his side. And this is his jester.
Oh!
Is that? Oh, it's a guy.
Awesome.
King
Wait a
Sagittarius.
minute. Looks familiar.
You think?
Looks familiar.
Yeah, that's his jester. He always keeps him around. You do fight him here. It's just like a quick introductory battle, but he's very, very strong. He's basically testing your mettle. He does beat you, but he allows you reticently to join all the other knights and all the other explorers that are going down into the like I like to call it the crater rather than the like Area Zero because it feels more fantasy-ish, more past, right? Well, in this game, they are. Remember how you go down the crater, down Area Zero, and there's like stations. Those are stations of the Royal Guard of Paldea that are sort of like safekeeping specific spots that are sort of like your only points of civilization and sort of like safety in the crater. And each of those knights is one member of the Royal Guard.
Oh my god!
That corresponds to one of the regions of Paldea. So how about we meet them?
Holy shit.
No
Let's
way.
meet the leader first. I like him a lot. This is Elio, Sir Elio.
Oh my
Blade.
god!
Awesome.
So his vibe is like, each of them is not a gym leader. They're not like assigned a type, because I think that's boring and we gotta stop doing that. Instead of doing that, he has a battle strategy. So his strategy is all-out damage. He's the leader. He comes from Mesagoza. He's the only one that is not assigned to a province. Mesagoza in this timeline is a very new town. Like basically, like it's basically the story of Madrid, who was like made from scratch to be the place where like the king sits, and he's sort of the leader of the royal guard. He works very hard on his looks. He's very vain, but not in a mean way. He's just like a guy that takes good care of his hair. And can you tell?
Mela.
Yeah, Mela. Yes. That's it. He is from Mela. But you meet more of them as you go down. So you each time you reach a new of the stations, you gotta fight the guard if you want to proceed further down the thing.
You're making me want to play this game now.
Isn't it?
I
I'm
want to
trying
play
so
this
hard.
game.
Oh.
That's Dame Atalaya. She's from the northern region. She used to be a princess before it was all unified into one Paldea. She used to be a princess of the northern region, and she's an idiot. She's so dumb. Everyone's like, oh, she's so demure and calm, and she's just like not that smart. She's just kind of an idiot, but she's quiet because she doesn't have much to say. And I really like that juxtaposition of like her being like an idiot and like the idiot part of it being her being really good at tanking. Like she's really good at taking hits because there's nothing going on in her brain that much. She's not very smart.
And she's good at snowboarding.
Exactly. Yes, she is because she loves shields. So that's one of the knights you mean. She's Dame Atalaya, the wall. In the complete other side of the spectrum, we have Dame Dolores,
Hey!
the Bane. She tries to be cute, fails hopelessly. She's so bad at that. Yeah, she's really bad. She is from the Eastern Province. She is Giacomo's ancestor, and she's really good at poison. So her thing in specialties, of battle specialties, is status conditions. Arigne, or Arigne.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Is the Gale. You know how Erin has like paints her face and like she's the fighting type Steam Star. She
Yeah.
paints her face, but she like when she takes it off, she's kind of like demure and mindful. Yeah. Same vibe here, but he's like unhinged and scary when he has his face covered. But he's this very beautiful and like shy person without the mask. I like the idea.
I love the design of this armor.
Oh, thank you. It's supposed to be a car. It's so stupid.
Hey, yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, it's based on a car. If you look at Dame Atalaya's, they all have like fun weapons. So like Elliot just has a sword, which made me laugh when Reoma was like, "Oh, I didn't include a sword." I'm like, "I did." So I did. He has a sword.
Thanks for covering.
He comes from the Western Province, the one with the lake. I like the idea of him like going around the lake running constantly. His thing is speed control, so he's supposed to look aerodynamic. And the last one is Dame Milagros. Isn't she cute?
Oh.
Yeah.
So
She's the tonic. She will feed you regardless of if you want to or not. She's holding on a ladle of cocido there. She comes from the Southern Province. She's quiet, but she's scary. And if you look at her back, she is like the most battle-hardened out of them all by a mile.
Oh,
right?
that's
Yeah,
cool.
look at that.
But she's like this sweet old lady that turns not sweet if like the chips are down. This is the main thing of the game. You go down the Paldea crater. You go to the different stations. You meet the guards. You meet the royal guard. You meet their little like two-dimensional anime characteristics that I love so much. The further you go, the more you're like told it's too dangerous. We're going like to the very bottom of the crater. You should turn back, blah blah, and you disregard that because you're a video game protagonist. The king like tries to like get you back. The royal guard tries to get you back to the point where you pass the last station into unexplored ground. You know, like we don't know what's past here. That's when the king comes back to you. He's banning you from going even further, right? You disregard this. You tell him that you're gonna go further. And that's when he tells you that you were not made a champion of the Paldea region when you beat Nemona to go ahead and disrespect the leader of the league in this way. You know, a moment of like, wait, what?
Wait, say sorry.
Yeah. He tells you that you were not made the champion of the Paldean League and beat Nemona to disobey the chairman in this way.
Oh,
And you're like, what?
You're like, hold on.
Hold on, what do you mean? The king is no king at all. The king is a time traveler like you. That is not someone else. That is Gita that saw you traveling into the past and is like, you absolutely will not cause a time paradox by going into the history of our region and changing history. I will go down there and stop you, and I will imprison you and your little I will imprison that turtle of yours.
Gita, you're f***ing crazy.
That's hilarious.
Thank you. She will imprison the turtle, Terrapagos, into the crown of Paldea that she's wearing, which is the terrestrial crown. If you look at the very tippy top of that hat,
Yeah,
you will see
the
that
gem.
that is the gem that Terrapagos was in
That's
at the end of the DLC. That's why it's called a terrestrial crown. It's because the crown of Paldea was made after it. And that's not Miascarada in like what do you call it? In like a regional form. No, that is a paradox Pokemon, a medieval paradox. If we have past ones,
Wait,
yes. If we have past ones and if we have future ones, and they're made out of the ideas of what that time looked like by the people that used the time travel machine. When Gita took that same time travel machine to go to the past, she made paradox forms of existing Paldean Pokemon when she wondered what they would look like, and she time traveled. So these medieval paradoxes, their naming scheme is the and then a title, because we have like each of them has naming schemes. Medieval paradoxes have colored irises. So the time, like the the team for Gita is all paradox Pokemon, all medieval bond. So it looks like this. Of course, we have the Jester, but we also have the Knight.
Oh, you're kidding. What?
He's based on Don Quixote.
That makes sense. Wow.
Awesome.
We have the Warlock. He's based on
Wow.
Crocodile.
Dude, so
So
the entire team is. Oh my god, that's crazy.
the entire
Oh my
team is paradox
God.
form. So I didn't do a 6% team because I'm not gonna draw 6 guys. What I wanted is to take like a first evolution, a second evolution, a third evolution. Because paradox forms can be like middle evolutions. You have like Fluttermane. Fluttermane is not Miss Magus, right?
Yeah.
But each of them has like characteristics of all of their evolutions. So Quaxley has like Quaquaval's eyebrows, and Crocodile has like the flames on the side of the mouth, and the little bird. There's also questions at the
That's
end. It's like,
fantastic.
okay, so what happened? Gita went to the past. She came to the bottom of Area Zero through that time travel machine, and she met with the king. That's how she got all this garb. The king agreed to do this to stop you from like meddling with the past. The king is still down there. What is the king doing?
Whoa.
Oh.
And yeah, what happened with him?
This is
So that's sort of the story of the game. This is my pitch. That's what I want to play.
Game Freak, hire this man.
You know, it was so funny. Literally, when you showed King Sagittario, I was like, he's kind of hotter than Gita. Because I prefer a bob cut than like her actual hair. So, and then it's hilarious that it's just Gita.
It is Gita. It's just Gita. But that's why I was like, oh, I want to play with more. I want to do more ancestors because I like ancestors when they really change, but you can kind of see who they come from.
And because you also baited me, because I thought that like Rayfort would be like the actual final villain. didn't even focus on Gita. It's hilarious because when you said like Nomona, I thought you by mistake said Nomona. I didn't understand what the hell you were saying.
Yeah, you made me stop immediately, and I was like, Ron, let me finish.
Because
Yeah,
no,
that's
if
what I
I
want.
would, if in game I read that, that would be the biggest twist in all of Pokemon ever. That would be the best
Right?
thing ever.
Isn't it cool?
I love twists like that in like a movie or anything. That's so cool. I don't know how to express how cool I think that dialogue is.
Thank you so
That
much.
trope.
Yes, exactly. I love that too. It's like, what? Wait, what?
What are examples of that in media that I consumed? I'm trying to think.
If only there was someone out there that loved you from Frozen.
Oh, I guess that is that.
Yeah,
You
there's also the tumor in your head one from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
That is a good one.
Oh, I
Guardians
love
too.
that trope.
Obviously, Gita's been maligned a little bit by the fandom. She's not
Yeah,
exactly
it
a fan
is.
favorite champion.
No.
So it would be really nice to have this kind of thing to kind of, I guess, redeem her in the eyes of the fandom. Not that she needs it in my heart, but
So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully you guys come back because again, I don't want you to feel like you need to be doing this much work for full artist videos.
This one was just for fun.
no,
I will
it's
stop.
fine.
What is next? Like Elite Four wouldn't be as fun though. Mothers, the mother of the protagonist. That's what we're doing.
There you go. Oh, you make the Pokemon mom.
Yep.
People are gonna be very normal about that.